Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name's Megan and today I'm going to be talking about one of my absolute favorite bags for spring. This is the mini Iside bag by Valextra. This bag does not get talked about nearly enough online, so I'm going to try and create the 1-year review that I wish I had found 1 year ago. I absolutely love this bag. I'm going to include mod shots, what fits inside, the overall features of the bag, the dimensions. To be quite honest, I'm not gonna have like an extensive pro-cons list because there are no cons for me with this bag. I'm gonna try and mention all the features for it because there are things that won't work for everybody. There are gonna be things, we all have our own style. There are things that some people are not going to like about this bag. I personally don't mind anything about this bag. In fact, I found it really easy to use. I feel like there isn't any other bag like this in my collection, but at the same time, everything about it that's different, it's so just understated. There's nothing crazy about this bag. I feel like it's a really modern take on a classic shape. In fact, I've even offered this as an alternative to the Coco handle. If you feel like that is a little too like old lady for you, which I've definitely heard that complaint about the Coco handle. I still like it, but I get what people are saying when they say it looks like a grandma bag. I feel like this is a really modern alternative. So as I said, I did get this 1 year ago. I got it at 30% off from Neiman Marcus ordering it online. This was at the start of lockdown where a bunch of stores were doing crazy discounts they had never done before to really encourage people to shop. And oh boy, did I shop. The discounts, oh, they were really effective in getting me to spend money, which I guess was not a bad thing. I'm not unhappy with any of my purchases. This was one of my better buys from last year. I did get it at 30% off. At full retail, it is $2,980. That is a luxury price tag. It is not a cheap bag by any means, and I feel like it doesn't get nearly enough attention. That is why I was hesitating, because I think I looked through every available YouTube video. There wasn't much. I looked through every Instagram post, and there's almost nothing in comparison to the millions of photos that you can find for the classic flap, your Fendi Peekaboo, any Chanel, any Dior, any Louis Vuitton bag you could possibly want to find. There were almost no photos of this bag, certainly not going into its functionality. So let me tell you a little bit about the features on this bag. This is called the Iside range. The Iside actually refers to the clasp. There are 5 sizes. This is the second smallest. So there is a micro, which is very tiny, very, very tiny. My phone can't fit in it. There's the micro, the mini, which I have, the medium, and the large. According to the Valextra website, there is a 5th, but I do not know what it is. I cannot find it. If somebody happens to know, please let me know. Perhaps they're referring to their backpack for some reason, but in this range, they're very clear that there are 5 sizes, but I don't know what that 5th one is. They do have backpacks. They have something called a crossbody bag, which looks very different to this. It's very casual, but they all have this clasp in common. They have clutches, they have wallets. So I have found this really pleasant to use. One thing that really bugs me, Neiman Marcus, just to mention this in case you are looking to get it online, Neiman Marcus, for some reason they call it the Iside mini leather satchel bag. I don't know why they call it something different to the Valextra website, which simply calls it the Iside mini bag. I'm sorry, I do have my notes in front of me. I don't know why they don't just call it the Iside mini bag. If you don't know what you're looking for, that just makes it that much harder. So to go over some of the features of this bag, I've already covered the clasp. This is really pleasant to use. It never gets misaligned. It's really smooth and streamlined just to go in and out. My favorite thing about this bag is the side clasps. They're really tiny and they're just minimal. There's nothing to them. It's just a little bar that pops up and down and locks in the strap. I love that this doesn't have lobster claws. They just put so much thought into making this bag more just architecturally pleasing and really modern and streamlined. There's just nothing extra about this bag. And I like a little bit of extra in a bag. I love my Chanel 19, but every now and then you want just a minimal classic bag, or at least I do. So this just has one big open compartment. I love that it is a light color, so it's very easy to see inside. Normally it's kind of hard to see in bags when I hold them up like this, but you can see almost the full bottom. It is wider at the bottom than it is at the top. There is a slip compartment in the back, which I would never use. There's no point to it. It does have the number code along the top here, along with Made in Italy and Valextra. That's just all along the top there. From what I can tell, all of the Iside bags have black glazing. Now, they do not all have this grained calfskin that mine has. This is a grain-treated calfskin, very similar to the Chanel Caviar. Some of them are in a smooth calfskin, and from what I can tell, the smooth calfskin ones just have a plain metal bar here instead of the leather tab matching covering the bar. They also all seem to have light gold hardware. They do have some really fun special editions where sometimes they'll have patterns on the bag, really cool prints, and sometimes the clasp will be something funky, like a really big geometric design or a stone embedded in it. They just have some really fun ones, and I'm really tempted by them. Now, I created this diagram here that I'll put up on this screen to show you the dimensions of this bag. Something that I find really frustrating is how different sites will have different dimensions for the length, the width, the height. And I think it depends what they're using. So as you can see, the base is a lot wider than the top. Same is true for the sides. This is a lot more narrow and the base comes out a lot more. Now that means you can fit a ton in it, but I created that diagram there so you can easily see the dimensions, and I'll have that at the end of the video as well. In terms of capacity, I feel that this is really similar to my Fendi Mini Peekaboo. It's also, from what I can tell, and I don't have one, but I've tried it on, it's really similar to the Alma BB, especially in how it tapers. So to tell you what does fit inside, just to quickly get this out of the way, a full-size wallet will not fit. It's not going to happen. It won't fit on the side. It won't fit going in. It will definitely fit in the next size up, which is the medium, but it's not going to fit in the mini. So in terms of what can fit inside, if you are familiar with my channel, you will know that I don't use pouches. I don't use cosmetic pouches. Really, I just don't need them, but I know a lot of people do. So for the sake of that, I will tell you that it does fit very nicely. I think ideally it would be one smaller than this, but there's plenty of room. Up next, you can fit your typical Ray-Ban sunglasses case. I can also fit my pink notebook, so just a ton of stuff is going to go in this, and I have already tested all of this out. My French wallet, which is really similar to, let's say, the size of 2 card holders or your typical bifold, trifold wallet. All of that fits in nicely. And then my phone. Whoop. Everything's fine. Okay, well, we already know the phone fits, so we'll just leave that out. Okay, so as you can see, everything fits in really easily. The little, there is a ton of space in there. If you had, let's say, like a 6-ring key holder, 4-ring key holder, all of that would fit. I don't normally pack this much. So to tell you what I do normally bring with me, but I feel like that was a lot of stuff, so as you can see, plenty will fit. I am still using my very cheap and cheerful little cloth pouch to fit everything I need. This has a tiny perfume, it has my bomb.com, it even has a little mirror in here, it has 2 hair clips, there's the mirror, a little cosmetic thing, it has lotion, it has bobby pins. This is genuinely what I bring out with me. I love it. It's not going to scratch the inside of my bag, so that will fit in. I like to use my Tom Ford sunglasses, which are actually pretty big sunglasses, so if you use something like the Celine, they'll absolutely fit inside here. I've still just been using my Bottega wallet and my phone. Oh, something I wanted to mention, I don't even need to put the sunglasses down on its side. that will completely close without it bulging or pressing on the top. It fits nicely. So let's say you had even more stuff. So you see all that beige on the bottom? That's all open space. So you can fit a ton more things for a mini bag. So I found this really easy to pack. I've used it a lot for going out to restaurants. We were doing a lot of outdoor dining obviously over the last year, and this was perfect to just pop on the table. I even popped it on the sidewalk because it has feet. There are no marks, no scratches, nothing on the hardware, no fading, no scratches at all, and I have taken off all of the plastic. I've just found this so easy to use. If you like a really squishy, pliable, soft bag, obviously this is not going to be for you, but if you like the structure, I love that it stands up on its own. I like how neat and tidy it looks. They have some great colors. They have a light blue, they have a taupe, just really easy things to incorporate into your wardrobe. I have worn this with jeans. I just wear it on my arm to be a little bit more careful with denim transfer. A couple final things I want to mention. They do sell raincoats on their website. They're $145, which frankly I'm just not willing to get. I don't think I would use it anyway. I always check the weather. I'm like religious about checking the weather, and I wouldn't bring this bag out on a day that it has a possibility of a rain because I would be worried that it would mark or stain the cream leather. So I'm not going to bother, and it's a lot of money. I know that even though it comes with the Fendi Peekaboo, I know that I'm paying for that raincoat in there, but I still love that it comes with it. I don't know, and I'll always keep it with me. But I'm not personally willing to buy the raincoat for this. Another thing is you can find these on the RealReal. I've already checked, but they're really battered from what I saw. You can get a good price for, I guess, what it is. I saw them for like $1,500. I would rather get a new one. I would rather try and find a discount new, even though I really want to stress that those don't seem to be a frequent occurrence, unlike a lot of YSL bags. They don't seem to go on sale all that often, but you can find them. I personally think this is worth it full price. I would consider getting another special edition. That is how much I have loved using this. I do think it's worth the money. It's still a lot less than a Chanel, and I don't want to compare everything to that, and I don't mean to say that it's not a lot of money, because it is. It's definitely something that I saved up for and I was really excited to get a discount on, but if you're looking for a really modern, clean looking bag, especially a cream that's a lot less than Chanel, like a third of the price, this is a really great option. Oh, and I don't know if I said this, but with the ones on the RealReal, they were seriously battered. The handles were all misshapen, they had scuffs, they had marks from what I could see from the pictures, and I don't really understand how someone could treat this bag that badly to have it look that battered. I've used this a ton and I don't feel like I've been particularly careful with it. I've taken it to the park, I've used it loads, and it is perfect. It is exactly like how it was when I took it out of the box. There is not a mark on it, there is not a dent. So I don't know what those people are doing to their bag. Frankly, I wouldn't pay $1,500 for that battered bag. I'd rather pay full price and get it new. So that's everything I wanted to say about the bag. I would love to get additional scarves to wrap around this. I think the only thing I'm not crazy about is how it does say Christian Dior right here, and from what I can tell, a lot of Christian Dior scarves, the mitzvahs, they do tend to say Christian Dior on them. Like even the Louis Vuitton ones, they tend to use really iconic patterns, so they would be recognizable. I have had people ask me if there's a Christian Dior bag, and I don't want to misrepresent the bag. I don't know if that's silly. Do you mix brands? Like, do you mind using different scarves or logos or something else on other bags? I don't know. I don't like to do it for some reason. I think it's partly because people have asked me if there's a Christian Dior bag, and I don't know. I don't like to draw too much attention to it, and I don't want to misrepresent it, because I'm sure there are plenty of people who don't ask and just assume it's a Christian Dior bag. But I have considered getting one of the Hermes Twillies, because they seem to have a lot that don't scream Hermes, or they certainly don't like say in big bold letters Hermes on it. So I thought that that would be a really good option. I don't know, maybe I could find a vintage one. There's just so many scarf choices that don't have any recognizable logos, because that's my favorite thing about this, is how understated it is. Anyway, that was all I can really think that I wanted to cover in my review. Please let me know if you have any other questions. As I said, I know that I don't have any cons, but this isn't the right bag for everybody. That's just true for any bag. So please let me know if you have any questions, if there's any details that I forgot to mention, something you want to know more about. I clearly love this bag. I love using it. I would pay full price. Even though I got a discount, I would consider getting another one. But I have really enjoyed using it. The strap has been really comfortable. You'll see in the mod shots how it looks on its longest length and on its shortest length. I think perhaps if you were smaller than 5'2", still about the same size as me, then it might start to get a little bit long as a crossbody, but some people prefer their crossbodies longer. Anyway, please let me know if you have any other questions, and thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you next time.